this is the weird thing. Our audiences think they know what they want, but they often don't. Like, for example, if you ask the question, well, would you rather have ongoing support or not? They're going to say, well, I want ongoing support, of course. So that would say, okay, well, they want a membership site. But then if you say, well, but you're going to have to pay for it every month, they're going to go, oh, no, I don't want to necessarily have to do that. So you have to be careful about what they want. Welcome to the Certified Badass Online Marketing Podcast, where being a badass has less to do with what you wear and what music you listen to, and everything to do with whether you've got the thriving online business of your dreams. I'm your renegade thinking Harvard Law grad turned online entrepreneur host, Bobby Klink. In my years building my thriving business, the most important lesson I've learned is that being a badass online marketer isn't about secret strategies or ninja tactics. It's about doing the basic stuff right and showing the F up. So each week here on the show, you'll get clear, easy to execute guidance on how to build your online business and a swift kick in the ass or two to make sure you're getting it done. Hey there, welcome to episode 151 of the Certified Badass Online Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Bobby Klink, and I'm excited for today's show because in today's episode, I'm going to be talking through helping you figure out what your signature offer should be. Now, on Friday's episode, the last episode, episode 150, I talked about kind of the curse of lumpy revenue and how you want to try to come up with ways to even out your revenue over time so you're not dealing with lumpy revenue. Because, as I explained in that episode, unless you are like ultra good at kind of managing your money, if you have lumpy revenue, what tends to happen is you don't manage it right and you end up kind of causing yourself problems because the revenue is kind of coming in fits and starts. And so one of the things that I talked about, there were some things I talked about in that episode that had to do with things other than your signature offer. I said, like, maybe you have some lower price templates or lower price products that are for sale all the time. But I also talked about a couple of ways that you could kind of de-lumpify, if you will, your revenue from your signature product. And those were a couple of things. One was, I said, you create payment plans for a signature product, and the other was a membership site. And what I want to talk about today is kind of walk through how you should figure out what your signature offer should be. Now, another thing I want to talk about, though, before I dive in, is that you know that I am a big fan of keeping things simple. And what I mean by that is I don't want you out creating, 5 different online courses and 3 different memberships and a group coaching program and some templates and all of these different things. You ultimately are going to want to have a pretty standard course, or not a course, meaning an online course, but a pretty standard journey for your customers to go on, especially when you're starting out. And so you're going to kind of need to figure out, or hopefully figure out, what is your signature offer. And then you can figure out what the secondary offers are that are related to that. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And I'm excited because in today's environment with the coronavirus and everything else that's going on, we need to really focus on the most important things in our business. And finding the right offer is obviously something that we need to figure out. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. But before we dive in, if after listening to this episode, or maybe even before you listen to this episode, you're thinking about creating a membership site as your signature offer, or even as a secondary offer, you need to go over and grab my friend Stu McLaren's membership guide. He's got a guide that will show you how to launch a successful and profitable membership site. This is not a little, 2-page PDF that you're going to download and say, that didn't help. No, this is a 50-page, like really useful guide that will help you to understand, should you start a membership site? If so, how do you figure out what kind to start, how to name it, how to do all of these different things and all of these different pieces as part of a membership site. Now, you can get your hands on this guide absolutely free by going to bobbyklink.com/membership guide. Again, bobbyklink.com/membership guide. Now, again, I'm going to be completely transparent with you. I promote two products or two big programs as an affiliate. One of them is Stu McLaren's program Tribe, which is about helping you create a membership site. And the other one is my original mentor, Amy Porterfield's Digital Course Academy, which is about creating a course. Kind of makes sense because I don't teach people how to do either one of those. And those are the two big kinds of products that I think people ought to be creating. So I'm going to send you to the best. I'm going to send you to Stu for memberships, and I'm going to send you to Amy for courses. And I tell you that so that you understand, Stu is coming into a launch of his program soon. And if you go and download that membership guide, you'll be tagged as associated with me as an affiliate, which will mean all kinds of good things if you ultimately buy. But regardless of whether you buy, the membership guide is full of great information. So you should go grab it if you're thinking about creating a membership. Now let's go ahead and dive in. Now, the first thing I want to talk about here is kind of to define some terms. And when I'm talking here, what we're talking about is how do you pick your signature offer? And again, what I mean by signature offer here is that this is kind of the centerpiece of what you're going to create and what all of your other offers will really relate to. You will have some secondary offers related to it, but your signature offer is kind of the thing that you're known for. And I want to start by giving you some examples to give you kind of some sense of how these things can fit together. For example, my coach, James Wedmore, he has Business by Design. I think he doesn't want to call it a course, but it's basically an online course that is big and huge. And really everything he's doing is steering people into that offer. I think periodically he will have lower priced offers, like little kind of things that you can get that will then lead you into the Business by Design, or BBD as he calls it later. But then also he has something on top of that, which is a group coaching program called Business by Design Next Level. And then his mastermind is kind of the level up from that. That gives you a sense of how Business by Design, it's not his highest priced offer, but it is his signature program. That's where he's sending everyone. And that's what I want you to be thinking about when you're thinking about a signature offer. It could be a course, it could be a membership, it could be templates. In your case, it could be, for example, that you have a group coaching program. It could be anything, but the concept is that this is where all of your mind, your mental bandwidth is going to. I want to get more people to buy that product, sign up for that membership, sign up for that program, etc. That is what you're doing. And really, it's kind of like all roads lead to and from that product in your business. Again, remember, in the intro, I kind of talked about the rule of one and how you want to have one big offer that really is where you're putting your attention. And so that's what we're talking about. And the concept really is about you're going to funnel everybody towards that, and then you can maybe upsell them or downsell them from that. But ultimately, that's where your energy is going. Now, there's a lot of reasons why you want to have a signature offer. One, it keeps you focused. If you have one signature offer, you know, hey, my effort is going to this. I'm sending people here. I'm doing this. That's kind of what you're doing, and that's where you're going to send people. So your goals can be very simple. You can say, I want to have 1,000 members by the end of the year, right? And that, for example, if your membership site is your signature product, all of your effort goes to that. And think about the clarity that provides to you if your goal is that clear. It's, I want this. And then you can look at every decision you're making in your business from the perspective of, does this serve that goal of getting more people into my signature offer? If yes, great, I'm going to do it. If not, I'm probably not going to do it. And so it helps you decide whether to do things or not, but then also even how to structure other things you're doing. Let me give you an example. One of my group coaching members, who is in my group coaching program, her focus is on a membership, and it's about building her membership site. And so she was doing these workshops, and I kind of helped her and refocused her to say, because she was saying, well, should I sell them and what should I do, et cetera? And I said, well, wait, isn't your goal to grow your membership? She said, yes. And so then I said, well, why don't we think about those workshops from the perspective of how can you use those workshops to grow your membership site? So maybe that means that they are a marketing, that kind of you use those as a marketing piece for your membership. Or it could mean that your workshops are primarily a benefit of your membership. You get the point. It helps you to frame those things so that all of the things you're doing in your business are about that. Again, to make it very simple and very concrete. If you have been following me for a while, I just closed the cart on an offer. I have unveiled my new email marketing program, which is called Badass Email Marketing. But instead of selling it as a standalone course this time, what I did is used it and said, if you join the Fans First Society as an annual member, I'm going to give you access to the Badass Email Marketing program. So that was kind of the offer. And I did that because my focus is on the Fans First Society. That was kind of where we had our focus at the beginning of the year. And so I could say, okay, how do I use this new course that I'm creating, this new program to serve my membership? Again, that gives you a sense of how you're going to look at your signature offer. Now, again, having a signature offer is also good because it makes you money, right? Because these are more expensive offers. They're not, $97 or $197. They're higher priced, and at a higher price point, they can get you more money in the door. So that's kind of when I talk signature product, signature offer, that's what I'm talking about. Now, let's talk quickly about the different options. I've already mentioned some of them. One is a course. An online course is a type of signature offer. Now, again, nowadays we often call them programs, et cetera, but you know what I get. You don't understand what I'm saying when I say a course. It is primarily a program where you have lessons and then maybe you have some implementation time mixed in. Then you have a membership site, which is different because it's not a starting and an ending where it's, you get a certain thing. It's you join and they are subscribed until they cancel. Then you have templates, like a large pack of templates could be a signature offer. This is on the legal side of my business. My signature offer is my Online Genius template library, which gets you access to all of my legal templates. And it's a $9.97 price point. So again, it's a higher price point. So when someone buys that, boom, that it's a big chunk of money into my not my wallet necessarily, but into my bank account. There's also one-on-one work. And you might decide that your best kind of signature offer is to work one-on-one with people. If you're a coach, if you're a service provider, you get this. This is what you do. And it might be that you think you want something else, but you ultimately decide that actually having a one-on-one service is the way to go. But interestingly, even if your one-on-one service is your signature offer, you may decide that you want secondary offers of maybe a course or a membership site or templates that you can offer at a lower price point for people who can't yet afford your services. An example of this, my friend Emily Hirsch, who teaches, or she actually has a Facebook advertising agency. I think she says it's broader than that it's a marketing agency, but basically they run people's Facebook ads and they help people with creating the funnels, et cetera. Now, her service is not cheap. So you have to have lots of money, multiple thousands of dollars a month to hire her. I don't even know what her rates are, but she's in that tier right now that I think is probably around $5,000 a month is kind of the minimum you're going to pay them to run your ads. Well, if you think about it, a lot of people don't yet have that. And so she created a program called Ignite, which is basically an online course with some implementation pieces built in that allows people to kind of get the knowledge and information to do it themselves. And if you think about it, it warms them up so that once they get to the point that they can afford to hire it out, they're probably going to hire her. So again, that's another example of how you would use multiple things and use a secondary offer to lead into your signature offer of one-on-one services. Now, the final type of signature offer I'm going to talk about is group coaching. And I was reluctant to mention this because here's the thing. For the most part, group coaching is not going to be your signature offer. And more important than that, for the most part, you should not have group coaching as even a significant part of your product mix unless and until you are relatively advanced. Now, I know there is a product out there that encouraged people to even create masterminds right out of the gate. I think that's dumb. And I'm just going to tell you, it's dumb. Candidly, people aren't going to pay you for group coaching at a high price point until you can show that you have gotten good results. And so candidly, I personally believe group coaching should not be your signature offer out of the gate. That should be something that you do later on once you've kind of done the work and built yourself up. But some people, that is their signature offer because maybe they've been doing one-on-one work for a while. They've gotten great results and they decide they want to make it a little more accessible, but they don't want to go the route of creating a course. Now, those are kind of the 5 typical signature offers that information-based entrepreneurs offer: a course, a membership, templates, one-on-one services, or group coaching. Again, candidly, if one-on-one is your signature offer, you already know that. You're a service provider, and so you don't really need this episode. I'm glad you're listening, but you obviously don't need to be thinking about kind of what is your signature offer because you already know. Maybe it's that you build websites. Maybe that it's that you do the tech stuff for entrepreneurs. Maybe it's branding. Maybe it's copywriting. You get it. You get the point. It's all of these different things, but one-on-one direct services or coaching. And group coaching, again, that's something that comes about either after you've already had success building a business, with a membership, with a course, or one-on-one, and then people are asking for it, and so you introduce it. So I'm not really going to talk about that. Realistically, and let me back up, templates are going to be pretty self-explanatory too. Templates are something where if, for example, you were in the space where I was, in the legal space, templates are an obvious thing to offer. Other people have templates for other things. You could have templates for websites, templates for sales pages, templates for all kinds of design things, for example. I know there are people who have design templates within Canva for all kinds of things, for example, for social media posts, for all those things. And they will have these packs where you can get all of their templates for kind of, think about it, for all your business needs, if you will, and you get them all. And those are at a kind of high price point, etc. The beauty of a template business is that often you're designing individual templates and then your signature product is all you can eat, all access pass to your template. So it's pretty simple, pretty easy to figure out. So realistically, where people are having to make a decision is they're deciding between, should I create an online course or should I create a membership site? And a lot of people have misnomers here. And what I mean by this is you'll have people who say, well, I had a course, but I think I want to just repackage it as a membership site. And they're thinking maybe it'll be easier to sell because it has a lower price point. Or other people will go the other way. They'll say, well, I've got this online, or I've got a membership, but I'm going to repackage it as a course. Well, what I want to say to that is that that's actually, if you are doing that, either you made a mistake when you first packaged it or you made a mistake now. because a course and a membership are not the same thing, and they are not going to serve the same people in the same way. You have to figure out which one is right for you at a given time. Now, I'm going to talk about this in a second, that oftentimes you might want to have a signature course with a back-end membership, or a signature membership where you have courses as part of that. But they are not the same thing, and you can't simply say, oh, well, I'm going to turn my course into a membership. It doesn't work that way. And here's why. A course is appropriate if everyone who comes in is going to be coming in at a similar point, and you're going to take them to the same endpoint. In other words, people are going to come in right around point A, and you're going to take them to point B. It is the same journey for everyone. They're going to have a similar starting point and the similar ending point. And that is what a course is for. Again, let me give you a very simple example. My friend Amy Porterfield's course about called Digital Course Academy is about helping you build and launch a digital course business. So she's taking people from the point of they're thinking about a course, they don't have one, or maybe they've dabbled, but they don't really have a course. She's helping you come up with the right course idea, figure out what's going to go in that course, figure out how to create the course. You're going to create the course, then figure out how to launch it and make money, and then rinse and repeat. So it is that process from beginning to end. Again, it is a single journey. And people are going on the same journey together. They need the same basic information to get them from point A to point B. That's an online course. That's where a course fits. Now, a membership is something different. A membership, you're going to have people at different points on their journey needing help with different things, but they have similar types of kind of needs, wants, etc. And so you're going to provide them with that on an ongoing basis. Now, there's multiple kinds of memberships. Some kinds of memberships are things where it is an ongoing thing where if you think about it, it's kind of like they need more ongoing. An example of this, for example, and again, we can take it out of the online world to make it very concrete. A type of membership that we can all understand is like Blue Apron, where they send you, I think, the instructions and the ingredients to cook your food at home. And so you have to keep getting it over and over again because, it's not a journey that is going from point A to point B. Now, in the online space, often it's kind of more of a cyclical situation where you have different phases that people are going in. And at various points, they're going to be in various phases of their journey. This is like my Fans First Society, finding, attracting, nurturing, and serving your audience. And if you think about it, you're kind of doing all of those things at once. And as you do them and get through it, you kind of go back to the beginning and you start to really understand your people more. And then you tweak how you attract. So it's kind of this virtuous circle, if you will, where, people are going through it over and over and over again, and they need ongoing support. So that's the hallmark of a membership is the ongoing support and ongoing community and ongoing content. And content doesn't necessarily mean training. It could be as simple as ongoing support with X. And we are thinking about this as we're thinking about how, and I'll talk about this in a bit, as we're thinking about my Badass email marketing program long term, we're thinking about, maybe providing an ongoing support membership on the back end of that is not Fans First, that is email specific. So you can see how it's different because it's not going from point A to point B. It's kind of an ongoing process that is happening over and over again. And so that will help define it. So the first thing you need to think about is, what do you want? Do you want to teach people a set process to get from point A to point B? Or do you want to be kind of like a coach or a mentor on an ongoing basis who's providing information or support or something like that on an ongoing basis? Now, part of this has to do with what you want to teach and the transformation you want to give. But also, I want to tell you, part of this will have to do with your personality. And what I mean by this is, if you are someone who thrives on interaction, who thrives on ongoing kind of back and forth with your community, well, a membership site might be a better fit for you. Because if you think about it, in a membership site, you are building relationships, you're building connections on an ongoing basis with your people, and you're continuing to kind of build that month after month after month. For example, people who've been in my Fans First Society since when I first launched it a little less than a year ago, these are people who, like, I know what they do. I know their backstory. We've had this ongoing interaction for almost a year now. And some of them, even before that, most of them before that were in my legal stuff membership. But just on the business stuff side, I've been kind of working with them for a year now. So if you think about it, there is this relationship that is built up over time, and that serves my soul as a person, because I am the extrovert of extrovert and I love being with my people. Now, a course, on the other hand, if that doesn't, make you excited, a course might be for you. Now, I know a lot of entrepreneurs who say the last thing they want to do is kind of have that ongoing interaction and connection, just because that's not what helps them to thrive. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with them being different than me. There's nothing wrong with me being different than them. It's a personality thing. But I'm going to say to you, if you don't want the ongoing interaction, connection, etc. with your community, I would suggest to you that a membership site is probably not the right way to go. And the reason why I say this is, if you're not going to want to be in there interacting, why would you build a business that will thrive the best if you are in there interacting on a regular basis? So there is some of that. Now, but I do want to step back, because there is some level, not all membership sites necessarily require the ongoing interaction. And I'm not saying that people don't do it, but there are other examples like Jasmine Starr's Social Curator, which, the content there, yes, there are Q&As, and yes, there are things in the group, but a lot of people sign up because, number one, they're going to get an issue each month that teaches them something about social media, but then also they're going to get captions and images that they can use on social media. So again, this is kind of like the online equivalent of a Blue Apron, right? It is providing you something month after month that you can use to build your social media presence. So in that sense, you could build a membership site like that that's not about connection, if that's what your audience wants. So again, that's another form of membership that you could think about that you can do. Now, I would also say you might want to get a sense of what your audience wants. But I have to put a caveat here, because your audience is probably going to tell you one thing and it's not going to be right. And this is the weird thing. Our audiences think they know what they want, but they often don't. Like, for example, if you ask the question, well, would you rather have ongoing support or not? They're going to say, well, I want ongoing support, of course. So that would say, okay, well, they want a membership site. But then if you say, well, but you're going to have to pay for it every month, they're going to go, oh, no, I don't want to necessarily have to do that. So you have to be careful about what they want. But you can get a sense from being with the community, and it might be that if you get a sense that what they really do want is that ongoing support, and that the support is the most important thing, more than a journey necessarily, and having a community of like-minded people is the most important thing to them, then that's going to tell you that a membership site might be right for them. Now, on the other hand, if they say, no, I mean, if you can gather from them that that's not really what they really want is for someone to just teach them how to do X, well, then a course is going to be right. And so you need to know your audience. Now, that's kind of in a nutshell how you're thinking about which is your signature offer. But here's the thing I want you to understand. Having one as your signature does not mean that you don't have the other. And this is not a violation of my rule of one, because oftentimes you will have a combination of a course and a membership site, one leading into the next or one incorporating the other, and you can combine the two to great effect. Let me give you a couple of examples of this. One would be what My Fans First Society has been. And what I mean is that My Fans First Society, we do monthly workshops. And a workshop is effectively a course. It is a standalone hour to hour and a half course where you are teaching people how to go from X to Y on something. And so my workshops, I create a workshop every month. So essentially I'm creating a course every month as part of the core content inside my membership site. That's one of the big offers. And that's something that a lot of people do, is they will have that kind of course or training, which is effectively a course, as a core piece of their membership site. Now, on the other hand, some people will have a course and then a membership on the back end of the course. This is my friend Amy Porterfield does. She has Digital Course Academy, which teaches you, like I said, how to, kind of build and launch your online course business. And then she has a membership site called Momentum on the back end, which is for ongoing support and to help people kind of continue on that journey and continue to build their course businesses. A lot of people use this model. This model is great if people are going to want ongoing support, if there are steps beyond what you teach them in the course that can be helpful for them. My friend Tiffany Bymaster does this. She has a course about video and then again has a back-end membership that is for alumni only to help them implement what they've learned in the course and do all of those things. So this is why I'm saying you have options, and whatever you pick as your signature offer, you might want to have the other as a secondary offer as part of the course or as a lead-in to the course or a lead-in to the membership site. So you have to think about that, and often you're going to want to structure your business to have both. The good news is that either way, or not the good news, what I should say is either way, though, you need to know what is the signature offer, because that's where your focus goes. And then the other is kind of the secondary. Now, my business is a bit weird because I have a team now and we are active in this. And so on the business stuff side, we right now really have one, but we'll very soon have both. We'll kind of have two tracks. We will have the Fans First Society as a signature membership site where there are workshops that are part of it, so courses that are a part of it. But the Fans First Society is a membership site. It is about community. It is about helping people with this process of building their raving fan base and really building connections with people on an ongoing basis. And the reason I came up with that is I said, this is not something that I teach them and then it's done. It's something that is an ongoing process that we work through on an ongoing basis, and people are going to want more information and they're going to want to kind of figure out how we're doing these things and back and forth. And so that's why it's a membership site. And on top of that, we kind of then have these workshops and content on an ongoing basis that help build on top of the base that is built with the membership site more generally. So that's the Fans First Society. Now, separately, I have this badass email marketing. Now, right now, that is only inside of Fans First Society for annual members. But Katie, my number two, and I have been talking, and our plan is to likely break that out and sell it as a standalone product, as a standalone call it a course, even though we would say it's not a course, it's an implementation program because there's implementation weeks and all that. And so we will at some point have that. But what we've talked about is that we could envision having a back-end membership behind that to help people on an ongoing basis with email marketing issues. For example, maybe there is an ongoing program where kind of, so just imagine that normally there's twice a month I'm doing implementation weeks already inside of the Badass Email Marketing Program. Well, that would just continue afterwards in a membership site that is all about helping to support people, helping them to do that as they need to do new email sequences or their new weekly emails. And they want kind of people to put their eyes on things, and they want coaching, and they want all that stuff on an ongoing basis. You could see how that could be a back-end membership that extends the life and extends the lifetime customer value of someone who signs up for Badass Email Marketing. So they sign up for the course, but then some of them will then also take me up on this ongoing kind of continuing support on the back end, which then gives you additional revenue coming in the door. So that's how you could think about how you can put a course and a membership together. So, in a nutshell, you need to figure out your signature product. It's one of 5 products, really. And again, I'll give you 5, but really it's probably not. Now, if you do one-on-one service or one-on-one coaching, you already know that is your signature offer. And great, good, keep going with that. But think about whether maybe you want to have a course or a membership or some templates maybe as a lead-in or an alternative for people who can't afford your one-on-one services. That might be something to consider. Second, maybe you have a group coaching program. And again, if you have a group coaching program, you know what that is, but you probably came to that because you are a coach already, or you have a membership site already, or you have a course already, and people want to go further with you. People want to go deeper and be in a smaller community with you. And that's how your group coaching program came about. Or maybe, you've done one-on-one coaching and you want to say, hey, this is too expensive for everybody, so maybe I can package it up and do it in groups. So again, that's how a group coaching program comes about. It tends to happen organically. If you're not there, you shouldn't even think about it. Then we talked about templates, and a template, like an all-access pass to templates, is a great signature product. It is the great kind of concept that you can give to people. The problem with it, I'll be honest with you, is there's often nothing beyond that. If you think about it, there is no way to then get a higher lifetime customer value. And this may sound crass, but at the end of the day, the way that you can, really build a truly, thriving online business is if you can increase the lifetime value of a customer. I talk about building a raving fan base. People who are your raving fans will want to buy more and more and more and more from you. And so ideally you want to have something behind it. The problem with a template-based business, and I found this in the legal side. Now, part of this was on the legal side. You can't do group legal coaching. And I didn't want to do one-on-one legal work anymore, which basically meant the templates, once someone bought my template library, there's really nothing else for them to buy from me. And that's fine, but it puts some limits. That's why in the information space, courses and memberships tend to be the most popular forms of signature offers. And really you need to figure out what suits your personality. Do you want to take people on a very set journey from A to B without the ongoing support? Or do you want to provide them with ongoing support? Do you want to build relationships? Do you want to have that fun of working, kind of in an ongoing collaborative way with people? If so, a membership site is going to be the way to go. You need to think about this. You need to figure out which best suits you, your customers, and the transformation you want to provide to them, and then commit to it. And if it's a course, great, I want you to commit to that course. If it's a membership, great, I want you to commit to that membership. And focus your efforts there. And then, once it's established, you can think about maybe having a secondary offer, which is maybe the other kind. And that's how you're going to build your successful, thriving business of your dreams. So, hope this has been helpful. Again, if you're considering a membership site, if you're thinking, hey, maybe a membership site is what I want to do, maybe this is the way for me to build the business I want. If so, you really need to get your hands on Stu McLaren's membership guide that walks you through how to launch a successful and profitable membership site. Like I said at the beginning here, when I talked about this guide, it is not a wimpy guide. It is a 50-page thing. And look, I don't tend to talk about how long guides are, but I know, but I'm going to tell you this. I've gotten things that are called guides that is like a page and a half, and I'm like, this is just dumb. It didn't teach me anything. That's not what this is. This membership guide that Stu has is really in-depth, will help you answer the questions. Is a membership site right for you? If so, what kind of membership? How do you name it? How do you think it through? All of those concepts that you can be thinking about, you should definitely go grab this guide if you're thinking about creating a membership site. Again, you can get it by heading over to bobbyklink.com/membership guide. bobbyklink.com/membership guide. When you go there, it'll redirect you to Stu's page where you can grab that, and you can then kind of dive in and start to figure out what's right for you. So that's it for this episode. I will see you again on Friday with another episode of the Certified Badass Online Marketing Podcast. That's it for this episode of the Certified Badass Online Marketing Podcast. Make sure to tune in next time. And in the meantime, go out and build the badass business of your dreams.